joining us today. We have Graeme Currie, who's chairman of PureGold Mining. PureGold Mining's doing a webinar with us on the 19th, and I thought I would take the opportunity to ask him one question. So Graeme, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So Graeme used to work at Canaccord as both a mining analyst and an investment banker and had quite a long career there, I believe 30 years?
Yes, just shy.
So I thought I would take the opportunity to ask him, as a mining analyst for that long in the Canadian markets, what are his criteria for looking at a mining company and evaluating a project? So Graeme, there you have it.
Okay. It could be a long list, but I'll try and make it short as possible. There were some key criteria that I always tried to focus in on, and in no particular order. I wanted to look at the geologic model that the company was chasing and the relative grade of the mineralization to that model. I wanted something high grade. Geographic location in terms of access and infrastructure, always very important. Equally important, the geopolitical environment, i.e. the country that it was in or the province or state that it was in. The management team, did they have the skill sets and the depth to take the asset forward? The upside potential, was there a lot of exploration leverage to the asset, or was it limited? And lastly, certainly in the mining sector, funding is a key requirement. And so was this an asset that could be funded? And could it be funded on an ongoing basis? Coming back to grade tends to rule roost on that a lot of the time. So that is a key component. In the case of PureGold, it actually has one other added benefit, which is existing infrastructure. And it's not often you come across a million-ounce plus asset where there's already a mill facility, underground facilities. In the case of PureGold, there's a shaft and a decline, and a lot of surface infrastructure that in many instances has to be constructed or built, and that can materially influence and affect your capital costs.
Amazing. So as you said, PureGold ticked all those boxes for you?
Yeah, and then some, absolutely. When we first had the opportunity to acquire Matson, it was in a very difficult market period in 2013, 2014, and that was a tough time in the gold market, tough time period in the broad mining sector. And having those tick boxes all ticked for PureGold was a very important catalyst for certainly my involvement, and I think our initial investors involved.
Well, that's really interesting. As an investor myself in the small cap space, I look at some of those things less technically than you, I'm sure, but the number one thing that I always look for is a really strong management team, which is what you've assembled at PureGold. So for me, that ticks my investment boxes, which are strong management team, value and growth, and catalysts. And the catalyst being near-term cash flow as you finish construction towards the end of the year and have your first gold pour.
Absolutely, and that is driven by the management and board of this company. There are numerous people on our board and on management who have spent many years working at Red Lake, at other operations there, or who have studied it geologically and have been actively engaged or contracted through to some of the companies operating in that region. So that experience in Red Lake is certainly paramount and has helped drive, in a very short period of time, 4 or 5 years, PureGold from an explorer to now construction and our first gold pour, as you said, by the end of this year.
It is quite quick. I mean, most junior mining companies take 10, 15 years to fully develop an asset and put it into production. So congratulations, you've done a great job with the company, and I'm excited for the webinar next week, and I'm excited to see the company develop through construction and get to cash flowing and explore at depth. And I think that there's a lot of upside left in the stock. So thanks for answering my simple question. Appreciate it. And I'll see you next week.
Will do. Thank you very much.